Hi, hello, beautiful people. I want to make this rant video about the new killer, Houndmaster, the killer who I want to like so badly, but I just fucking can't because her ability doesn't work. I understand behavior tried their best to iron out the bugs since her PTB, but this killer fucking sucks, and I hate it because I want to like this killer, but at the same time, most of the things you can do with her don't work half the damn time because her dog is tweaking the fuck out, being far behind you, so when you try to redirect the dog, it's not even within vicinity of the survivor. And then when you try to send out her dog to go search an area, sometimes it takes a long ass time for it to fucking come back, or hell, it takes a long ass time just to get to the fucking point that I sent it to go to. And then other times it doesn't even get there. It gets stuck on some random object, and it's so annoying. Again, this is a rant. I'm not doing this by any script because I want to give my thoughts on this, because I want to like this killer, but at the same time she's such a buggy mess. I can't like her because half the things I try with her don't work. Like when I use my dog to go pounce, for some fucking reason, sometimes the dog will immediately go into the redirect phase of a pounce. So it doesn't even go any distance from the first pounce because it immediately goes into the second pounce. Okay, because the dog works like this. You charge up the dog, you send it out in a straight line, and then you can redirect the dog to go in another straight line. But sometimes when I go to send out my dog, it immediately jumps to the second phase of that ability. It immediately jumps to the second redirection, the redirection dash. And I don't know why it does that sometimes, but it's so fucking annoying when that happens, because basically my ability gets nullified for free and there's nothing I can do about it because it just randomly happens. I don't know why what causes it, but it sucks because basically my ability is useless. Like at this point, I'd rather just play clown. He has better chase mobility, or like he has better chase ability than this, and it's so much easier, way more consistent, and it doesn't bug the fuck out. And on top of that, he has decent map pressure. Well, not map pressure, but it's decent, like, okay map traversal with the yellow bottles. Like, whereas with her, the yellow path or the red line that you need to follow is so linear. The speed boost is so good, but the fucking path is so linear, and sometimes your dog just takes the weirdest path to the objective you tell him to go to. And then I don't know why this is a change behavior made, but for some reason the speed boost immediately dissipates the moment you go and chase. Why does she lose her haste when she's chase with another person? It's so stupid because the trail is so specific. Like, you have to be on the red line the dog forms to get your speed boost. So why do I lose haste? Why do I lose the speed boost the moment I get into chase with someone else? Like, a survivor isn't gonna follow the path like fucking step for step and then I'm gonna catch up with them and get a free hit on them. No! And I can't even send out my dog to go slow them down and pull them back to me because he's off sniffing some generator's fucking dust. Like, I don't get it. And again, this is a rant because out of like the past 10 matches I've played, I've only won 2 of them, and it's only because the survivors made mistakes and because my ability didn't tweak the fuck out. But the other 8 matches, I've just lost or got only a 1k or a 2k, and my ability is just constantly kept bugging out and just denying me any chance of trying to get survivors with like the fucking dog pounce, because it's either the dog gets stuck on some random shit far behind you, and then the moment you try to shoot out your dog and then redirect him, your camera pans off to the middle of buttfuck nowhere off to the side or far behind you, and then your dog is basically nowhere in reach of the survivor. Because something about this dog is that if he gets stuck on something, he stays there and he'll magically teleport to you. But the fucking timer before he teleports to you to be right beside you is long. At least long enough to the point where if I try commanding my dog to go after someone, he'll be stuck on some random fucking furniture. And then at that point, my ability gets nullified and then it goes on cooldown. Oh, and let's not forget the fucking cooldown. The cooldown is so stupid with how it works. I don't understand why behavior didn't make it so that the cooldown starts the moment that the action you perform is canceled. Or not canceled, finished. So like, the moment my dog finishes investigating an area, it should go on cooldown. It shouldn't be that my cooldown starts only when my dog gets to me and like basically touches me. Like that shouldn't be how the cooldowns function. For the pounce, sure, but for the fucking for the search, no, it shouldn't be like that. Just the cooldown should start the moment the dog finishes its action, and not start the cooldown when it touches you. Because I've already had a couple instances, and I've only been playing this killer for a day and a half, and it's so annoying how common this happens. But sometimes I will either send out my dog to go search a spot, or I will send out my dog to go pounce on somebody, and it's either, you know, my dog goes searches, or I miss the pounce, and then my dog will start walking back towards me. But then because I'm walking away from the dog because I need to chase the survivor, it starts like fucking, it like slowly approaches me from behind and never comes in contact with me unless I go out of my way to double back into the dog just so it can start its cooldown. Like I don't get this. I don't get why the cooldowns behave like this. Again, for the pounce, sure, maybe, but why for the search action? I don't get it. And then on top of that, why does the path for the search action not linger? Why does it not linger? Why does the speed boost path that you get when you go command your dog to investigate an area, why does it dissipate the moment the dog finishes investigating? Why can't it linger for like 5 or 10 seconds? That way I can still use it as a mobility tool to get to the spot I wanted the dog to go search. Like I don't get this. And then again, if I go send my dog out to investigate, it finishes investigating and starts heading back, sometimes it'll randomly have like a tremendous slowdown because it gets stuck on something, and then it'll readjust, start running back to me, get stuck on something, slow down, readjust, and then run back to me. But no, the dog will just like fucking crawl behind me at a slow ass pace, not fast enough to where it can outpace me and touch my character model again. I'll have to go out of my way to double back into the dog just so it can start its cooldown, and it's so stupid. And then not to mention, like, why do I okay, if I had to condense this rant, this killer is buggy as shit. It makes playing her not enjoyable whatsoever. And the shitty part is I want to like this killer. I like her chase music, I like her voice lines, I think her power is neat, but I can't play her right now, and I can't enjoy her right now because she's just so fucking buggy. Half the things I try with her don't work, or I need to work around my dog's janky ass AI just so I can have a functioning power. Whereas with other killers, they have a more consistent ability, more things they can do, and I don't need to rely on some fucking dog just so I can start going on my cooldown. Like, why does it work like this? If I want to play a fast mobility killer that can go hit and run, I'd rather play Legion. If I want to play a projectile-based killer who can slow down people or injure from afar, I would play Trickster or Clown or Huntress. Like, I don't know why. Like, they should have been in prototype and in testing for way longer before the PTB, because this killer is just, again, I may be blowing things out of proportion, but in my opinion, I don't think this killer is functional right now. I don't think this killer is playable at the moment. Again, half the matches that you get, there will be like almost little to no bugs that interfere with your gameplay. But for the other half of the matches, half of your dog pounces or half of your dog searches get interrupted by something, or they get delayed or just fucked up by some weird arbitrary bug that you have absolutely no control over, because it's either your dog gets stuck on some random ass obstacle far behind you, so that when you go to send it out to pounce on someone, it's not even beside you, like how the dog is supposed to be. It's not even beside you. And then when you go send it off to investigate an area, when it tries coming back, it could take like 10 or 15 seconds just to then go on cooldown. Because for some reason the dog takes a long ass time to get to the spot you sent it to sometimes, and it sometimes also takes a long ass time to get back to you. Like, I don't, and then not to mention how avoidable the dog is with the redirect. Like, the only way I've been landing redirects is by flicking the dog pounce and then doing it instantly. I have not been trying to, I haven't been switching to the dog's redirect camera and then waiting to see what the survivor does. I never do that because there's no point. The survivor can react to whatever redirect you try doing because the dog's hitbox is so linear and it doesn't move that fast. And I'm not asking them to buff those aspects. I'm just pointing that out. And then, so like that's the only way I've been landing dog pounces is through the fucking just instantly flicking onto where I'm predicting that they're gonna go, which I don't get right half the time. And again, that's partially on me, but that's also just a frustrating thing about this killer because I miss my dog pounce and I have to wait for him to slowly walk back to me, and then he starts going on his cooldown. And it's just, why? Why does it work that way? And then another thing I don't like is you lose haste from the red trail the moment you get in chase, because for some reason that's something that the behavior thinks is a problem, when at most it would just be a nice haste. Like, I don't get why they remove haste effect on your trail when you're in chase. If like your search tool would be a decent, like it's a decent mobility tool, but it would also be like a decent catch-up tool or a chase tool on survivors in more open areas. But no, they won't allow you to do that for some fucking reason. Like, why? You're using your dog to apply pressure and to try to catch up to the survivor, and it's not like you can send him out at the same time to go pounce on the survivor, because he's doing a separate action, which is searching. So I don't know why you lose haste when you get in chase with someone. Not to mention how finicky the fucking point command system is. Like, sometimes it'll be snappy and you'll command him to generator super easily, and other times I have to like constantly wiggle my fucking cursor over the gen just so I can finally get the lock on. And it's just so annoying. And then another thing I don't like about this is, why does she have a slowdown when she goes to command the dog to investigate a spot? It's not a chase tool of any kind, because even if you were to try to use the dog search as a chase tool, the game behavior won't let you, because you lose your haste the moment you get in chase with somebody, and then you get a significant slowdown when you send out the dog for some fucking reason. So what is the behavior? Are you gonna let us keep haste and chase with the dog when we command him to go search something and use the red, trail as a speed boost? Are you gonna remove the speed penalty when we go to command the dog to search a spot? Because it makes no sense. We have one or the other, or we have both. Because again, commanding the dog to search a spot is not like a chase tool of any kind, because the game won't let you have it as a chase tool. And then like, it doesn't apply any lethality or pressure at all. It just gives you information, that's it. And at most a speed boost that's like decent. Like why do we have a speed penalty, a significant one of that? Why do we have a speed penalty when we go to command our dog to search? Again, if we had the speed penalty when you cancel your dog's pounce, sure. A speed penalty when you send out your dog to pounce, sure, maybe. Even though I would still want that to be like a little bit alleviated because it's such a significant slowdown, but I digress. Why is there a slowdown when you go command your dog to search a spot? It makes no sense. Because even if we were to try to quote-unquote abuse it as like a mobility tool to catch up to some survivor in some weird place, you can't. Because again, you lose haste the moment you get in chase with somebody, so you can't even use it for that. So why the fuck do you have a slowdown when you command the dog to search? They should remove the slowdown when you command your dog. They should lower the slowdown when you command your dog to pounce. That way you can try to work around it on shorter loops, because it feels clunky trying to use the dog pounce on shorter loops. Because I shoot my dog out to go one end, I try to scoot my ass to the other side, but I have a hard time doing so because I'm so effing slow. And then I try to redirect the dog and then shoot it back at the place the survivor's trying to loop, whether it be a window or a pallet, and it works like half the time. Half the time because I'm not in position to take advantage of the fact that my dog pushed a survivor out of a spot that they can't use the pallet or a window, and the other time is because I just missed my dog pounce. Oh god. And then another thing I want them to do that would be really nice is make it so you can command your dog to go search a spot while you're carrying a survivor. It doesn't make any sense why the quote-unquote Houndmaster can't communicate and point to her dog to go investigate a gen as she's carrying someone. Like that isn't that the entire niche of her kit? Is being able to is sending out her dog to do multiple things for her while she's busy doing something else, whether it be kicking gens, breaking pallets, or picking up and carrying a survivor. And then to the people who want to be smartasses and be like, oh, but how would you point your dog in the direction they want it to go? Use her blade. She can hold out her blade and then use that as a way to point for where her dog to go, because obviously her dog and her aren't telepathic, I assume. So she can't, the dog can't get into her mind and see where she wants him to go. So to solve that problem, you can just have her hold out her weapon and use that to point to which gen you want the dog to go to. And you can make it so that you can't hit anybody for the duration that you're winding up where to send the dog to. So remove the slowdown when you go to send out your dog to search a spot. That, or at least let us keep the haste, even when we're in chase when we're following the dog's trail. Let us be able to command the dog to search a spot while we're carrying someone. That way we can have some info gathering and know where to go next, instead of having to stand over the survivor, charge up our ability, and then point for him to go in that direction. It feels clunky, it feels weird. It would just feel so much better, and it would feel so much more in theme with the character, with having, you know, 2 killers essentially. Like, it would just be nicer that way if you were able to just send your dog out while you're carrying someone. So do those 3 things. Oh yeah, and then another thing they should allow you to do is let us be able to let us be able to cancel our dog's command at will. That way, if I send a dog to go investigate a spot and then I use his path and then I see a survivor not so far away, I can cancel the dog's action, have him recall back to me, and then use him at a faster moment to pounce on the survivor and whatnot. So again, just to reiterate, you should be able to command the dog to investigate the spot, while you're carrying someone, be able to cancel whatever action you gave to the dog whenever you want to. So except for like the pounce, keep the pounce the same, I guess, just more so with the search. So if I command my dog to go search a spot, I should be able to cancel that command at will. And again, the killer says lines like "come back" and whatnot, so you can use those voice lines for when you use that command to call the dog back because you need him, because you're in chase with someone. And like, not only would that be a nice little quality of life, but again, it would also further be in character with the killer, which is a killer, a fucking bloodthirsty maniac who works alongside her dog, and they work in unison and are tangible, not the clunky lady with her stupid AI dog. Like, and I want to like her so much, but I just cannot because of how buggy she is in this current state. And it sucks that I'm gonna have to wait potentially weeks just for these bugs to be slightly ironed out, and then to maybe enjoy her. Like, at this rate, I would rather play Skull Merchant. I would rather play Skull Merchant, because even though her ability is like utter doo-doo water, just dog shit, at least her ability works. At least her ability works. It doesn't bug out compared to this killer. Ah, man. So yeah, I would say that's about my rant with this killer, and those are what adjustments and buffs I would give to her, or at least suggestions I would give to her if behavior were to somehow watch this video. If you guys have come across this behavior, I apologize for my abrasiveness and how rude I may have sounded with this video, but you have to understand, I want to like the killer you made, but at the same time, I just can't because of how buggy she is. Again, her design grew on me. I like her chase music a lot. I like her power a lot, and I like her voice lines immensely. Her voice actors did a great job, but I can't like her because her core gameplay is so buggy. Half the things you try with her don't work, and your dog just tweaks the fuck out, and then extends your cooldowns longer than they should be, extends your cooldowns artificially because of some stupid thing he keeps getting stuck on. And again, not to mention, sometimes randomly when I send my dog out to pounce, he'll do a double pounce, leaving me being able to redirect him once. Because again, it works like this: I send out my dog in a straight line, then I can go to his POV and then redirect him a second time. But sometimes when I send him out, he immediately goes to that second dash, and then other times he's far behind me, so he's not even within range of the survivor that I assume he is, because again, the dog is supposed to be right beside you at all times, but half the time he just isn't. Not to mention, like, the whole like command thingy sometimes cancels by random for some reason. It could be my mouse, but at the same time, I'm pressing my M2 pretty firmly, so it shouldn't be that. And then other times, the prompt to command your dog to pounce or to search an area just randomly disappears, and I don't know why. but it's super annoying and super clunky when I go to use my pounce, but I can't because my dog is either super far behind me and I need to wait for him to TP beside me, or the command just completely blocks. And it's just super annoying. I will see you in the next one, I suppose. Just, man.